job was about 3,500 to about 4,000 Ghana cedis
Not
monthly.
bad.
And when I started MO ship, I was getting about 7K every month. And this is just your salary from Ministry of Health.
If someone is trying to make the comparison right now, do you think the money is better off in than in Ghana?
Right now, I'm working, like I said, the institution I'm working with. I entered as an entry level position. And so if you are comparing it to Ghana, yes, it's a lot. But
So what is the route for further studies after studying a 6 year medical program in the university? So, like, what is the route? Let's say someone comes to this place and they want to use their degree they acquired in Ghana. What certifications or examinations do they have to take? How long does it take them? Do you know the cost involved? Welcome to the channel where education meets adventure and passions are transformed into lifelong lessons. Excel with Emmy. Hi, Dr. Rich Love. Thank you for
hi.
honoring my invitation. We are so excited to have you here today. I know we have a lot to learn. So, without wasting much time, kindly introduce yourself to us and then we'll continue.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Richla Vimbro, and I was, or should I say, I am a practicing dentist in Ghana, and I pursued my master's degree here in the United States, and I'm currently working with a global nonprofit organization, MSH, Management Sciences of Health. Yeah, that's a little about me.
Wow. You just said you're a practicing dentist in Ghana and someone is like you did your masters. Okay, so walk us through your journey. Like how did it pan out?
Hmm. So, just like most young people in Ghana who want to be doctors, I attended medical school. I went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I pursued a bachelor's in human biology, and then I went ahead to do a bachelor's in dental surgery. So
Wow.
I did my house job for 2 years. I did the first one at Confanochi Teaching Hospital. Then my second year was at Greater Accra Regional Hospital, popularly known as Ridge Hospital. Then I went ahead to do my MO ship at Asha Polyclinic, or now Asha Hospital. And I found myself here some way, somehow, pursuing a master's in global health policy and management. And it was a STEM course. So the STEM degree was called econometrics and quantitative economics.
Wow.
Yes, and then now I'm here. I'm working. So that's just how my journey has been. And then I'm here now. Yeah.
So was there a link between the master's program and like what you did in dentistry or the other bachelor's degree?
Yes, I would say. So having when I started practicing, actually when I finished dental school, everybody, I mean, most of my family members were like, you just have to travel, travel, travel. I was not ready for travel at that time. I felt like, oh, I can be in Ghana. I'm going to make it in Ghana. I mean, there's no big deal. After all, I'm a doctor
Mhm.
and all that. But when I started working and I saw some of the conditions and in the government sector, I mean, it was so monotonous. I was just doing the same thing every day. We
Okay.
were pushing to get things to do better. Things were not coming. I mean, I was quite frustrated. And I had always told myself if I would ever pursue a master's degree in my life, it's going to be outside Ghana because I just wanted to have a feel of education outside Ghana. So I decided that, it's about time. I just got frustrated. I'm like, you know what? It's about time. Let me just leave. And then I came here to pursue my master's degree. And my master's degree was global health. So it's like helping, on a larger scale, not just seeing people from day to day, but, working on health systems so that it's impacted like on a large scale. So I would say, yes, there's a definite like link between my bachelor's degree and my dentistry and then what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Okay. So did you feel like after the 6 years program you'll be stuck in Ghana? So the perception is that once you read medicine, once you read pharmacy or optometry, all of these 6 year courses, like you are stuck in Ghana or like you are okay in Ghana. Did you ever feel that way? And then what would you say to people that are like in that situation right now?
Okay, so I don't think the word is stuck. I felt like it was enough. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was enough, and even being a woman, I mean, how much do I need to make to support a man that's going to come into my life? Because people in my field were making that amount and using it to take care of their entire family. So at a
Okay.
point, I felt it was enough. And I mean, doing something else on the side in addition to being any of these professions that you mentioned should be enough, unless you get the pushing edge to actually go. And people want to do it. I just want to say that you are not stuck. There is so much you can do with that degree when you come here that you have no idea.
Mm.
There's a lot. I mean, I also have a YouTube channel. It's called Dr. Rich Lavenbro, and I talk about it on my channel as well. There's so much you can do. So please don't feel stuck. There's a lot that you can do with those degrees. Yeah.
So someone is like, how much money are we talking about right now? Like, if I'm done with medical school, if I want to come, I have to get like real life figures to make a comparison. So are you
Yes.
okay to
Over
share
one.
like how much we're earning? If it's
Yeah,
confidential,
sure.
that is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, I'll share it for you and your subscribers. So, as at the time I finished, I think house job is pretty low. And house job was, let's say, back in 2018, it was about 3,500 to about 4,000 Ghana cedis
Not
monthly.
bad.
And then when I started MO ship, I was getting about 7K, about, yeah, that's about that, 7,000 every month. And this is just your salary from Ministry of Health. Being the hustler that I am, you actually also do side hustles. I mean, you do locums, and then when you have time, sometimes when you close from work, you can go and do locums. So your locum can also be getting you maybe like about 2K a month. If you are wild, maybe 2 or 3K. So when you add it to it, you can see that you're almost hitting 10K a month. And that was like what, 2 years ago? Because I've been here for like about a year and a half. So that was like about 2 years ago. So I
Wow.
mean, it was something back then, actually. So it's
So I don't mean to like cut you off, but then the MOH is like when you have started working, like working.
so the MOH is Ministry of Health. So
Okay.
when you're done working, then the Ministry of Health will employ you to work in their government institutions, like
So
the big hospitals that are like around. And then the salary actually increases as you are rising in ranks, as you are specializing and everything. So that's Ministry of Health is MOH. Yeah.
wow, I think well, that's good. Okay. So if someone is trying to make the comparison right now,
Mm.
I wouldn't say you should share what you are making right now, but then do you think the money is better off in than in Ghana?
So I would say it depends on what you're looking for, okay?
Mm.
But as it stands now, when you come, depending on what you're doing, right now I'm working, like I said, the institution I'm working with. I entered as an entry level position. And so if you are comparing it to Ghana, yes, it's a lot. But if you are comparing it to, being here, I always tell myself that sometimes you need to take a few steps back when you come here to be able to shoot yourself forward,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
So being here and comparing yourself to people who have been here for longer, who have like, better standing and all that, it is not good, but it is the beginning. And that's how I always tell people it is the beginning.
Okay.
It's an entry level job, and you're going to shoot up because you already have the background and you already have the things that you're already doing. So your experience with time is just going to shoot you up and you're going to climb the ladder really fast.
Okay. So if you are comparing it to Ghana, this job that she's saying is entry level is much like more than what she was earning in Ghana.
Yeah. Yes, it
And
is.
mind you, she has not started using her dentistry. She has not done the certification yet. So I guess we are going to a certain point. Like we are trying to make a conclusion, but then we don't make the decision for you. So if you are in this situation, like this is an example of real life analysis. Yes. So people say medical school locks you up in Ghana and it's difficult for you to get funding and admission here. How did you get that?
So for me, I would just say that even with me, my process was actually in a rush. Like, so I did not sit down to really, plan very well before coming in. Even with that, I got some scholarship. I didn't get like a full scholarship, So what I did was I applied to schools here for public health, global health, and then there are so many other courses that you can apply to, okay?
Mhm.
And then the school gave me a scholarship based on my merit. So it was an academics scholarship. And then
Mhm.
the rest of it too, there are so many other, opportunities, like let's say loans that you can take. And once you start working, you can pay back. I know Ghanaians usually, or most Africans, have a perception when it comes to student loans. We all don't like it. You don't like a student loan. But this is what I told myself, that would you rather not come, or would you take the loan, get a degree, be better, be in a master's position, and position yourself in like, a place where you can even be able get a job that you can be able to pay the loan and still live a better life. So sometimes you need to, reason it up that way. And it was not the full amount. And there are also other scholarships there. Like I said earlier, I did my process in a rush, so I didn't start the whole scholarship thing. But there are so many scholarships that you can tap into when it comes to the United States. So funding, even though is a big scary issue, once you plan for it and then you throw you cast your net really wide out there. I'm sure there are so many funding opportunities that you can come across. So
Sounds good. I think that sounds good. So, what is the route for further studies after studying a 6 year medical program in the university? So, like, what is the route? Let's say someone comes to this place and they want to use their degree they acquired in Ghana. What certifications or examinations do they have to take? How long does it take them? Do you know the cost involved?
so I have medical colleagues who have actually done this path. Fortunately, they can even start the process in Ghana. They need to
Mm-hmm.
write the USMLE step one, step two, and then they can apply for, I think, for residency over here. So the good thing about yes is I think they match them. There's a matching that goes into it. They match them to see if they are eligible to do this internship or not, whether internal medicine, psychiatry, what have you. And then the good thing about that is with that, they actually pay you while you're doing the residency. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's not a huge amount, but then it's enough for you to be living. And then with the cost involved, I know with about maybe $6,000 to $7,000, if I'm not mistaken, because I know just applying for the matching alone, I was close to a colleague who did it, and just applying for the matching alone was like about 5K. And sometimes we think so much about how much we are investing into something, but we are not thinking about the returns that's on it. Okay. And then with the 5K, immediately you get matched, you're actually going to start getting paid. Like I told you, then it's actually the residency is paid. So maybe about, and then the materials you are going to buy to study, the books you are going to buy, let's give it maybe like 1 or 2K. So that comes about $7,000, I should say, should be enough for you to go through the whole process. That's for the medical student. But on the other hand, for the dental people, those who are dentists, I have some bittersweet news. So the bitter news is that we have to go to school for 2 years again to be able to practice here in the United States. But there's also there are other routes of, let's say, residency. You can also come here and do your specialization right away and then get into the system. So these are the two common pathways to be
Mm-hmm.
able to practice here as a dentist in the United States. So that's the comparison between the medical folks and then the dental folks. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your feedback to someone who is currently enrolled in medical school? And then what should they do differently? So I have a friend who wants to quit medical school and then travel to the US for medicine or something. Um like if you are supposed to go back in memory, what would you have done differently? Or what would be your advice for someone who is in the program?
So I think, well, what I would have done differently was to, take my studying an extra notch. What I mean by that is usually when you enter medical school, it's a pass or fail. So you'd be like, oh, let me just pass. It's 50. Like, what does it take to get 50 to pass? But we had people who knew that they wanted to travel when they are done with school. So they were really serious, and like they were hitting the A's. And some of them, they also got like full rights to do PhDs and what have you. Like opportunities open for them because they had better transcripts and better grades and stuff like that. And about your friend who wants to stop, I just say to each and their own. Somebody would want to finish, get, a license in Ghana before they travel, come and get a license here as well. And I don't know which level or which year he or she is in, but if it's okay, or if he or she can afford it, because medical school here is not cheap, okay? I mean, even with the 2 years that we have to go, it's not cheap. So you can imagine taking student loans for like 6 whole years, or I think they even do 8 years. They do 4 years undergrad, and then they do 4 years medicine before residency. I mean, it's a whole lot. So he or she should weigh their options and get more information. I always say information is key. Just get more information to be able to make a sound decision that will sit right with a person while they walk through life making those
Yeah.
decisions. Yeah.
Okay. This was not part of our questions, but then also finding information on whether to continue the program or whether you are looking for other opportunities in medicine was very hard because I was trying to help him find a school. So, are you able to share with us some websites that like have very useful information for you and your colleagues? Or if you don't have them at hand, like I can get the links and then add to the description of this video.
Yes, so I always say that everything is out there. Okay, everything is on YouTube, everything is on Chat GPT. I mean, some of the tools that we are using for some other things, we can get very useful information on it. Okay, so I know there are so many courses. I also have a list of STEM and non-STEM courses. The STEM courses are usually science oriented, so I have a video on that on my channel. They can also go and subscribe and watch. And so I have a whole list. I could share it with you so that you can share it with your subscribers. You could just look through that list and you can find a course that actually resonates well with you. And with that course, you can even get like a 3 years OPT to stay back here for 3 years and then work, get your experience. And by the time you're done with the 3 years, you figure out what you want to do with yourself. So that is other career pathways apart from coming here to come and practice medicine. And some people they actually go to medical school for their parents. So when they are done, they are looking for other, ways, other places to fit themselves in. So I can share that with you and then you can actually share it with your subscribers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think that sounds good. Thank you so much for coming. I really do not take this for granted. So I hope I see you again. I did an interview with Dr. Rich Love on her channel talking about the Mastercard Foundation scholarship. So you want to check out that video once she posted over the weekend. And yes, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on a wonderful platform. And she's doing great things, guys. She's doing great things. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share.